Well, hey there and welcome back, Myo family, for this episode of the Myo Minute. I am Carmen Woodland. I am an orofacial myofunctional therapist, and I have a global practice that brings this important therapy to clients around the world. So if you are new to me, welcome. I think you have fallen into a rabbit hole that might be deep with lots of information for you. So I do these episodes to help educate you about all things myo. And in this one, we're talking about how a tongue tie affects the body. This one's going to be short and sweet, but I will tell you this. If I get done telling you about this stuff and you're saying, yep, that's me, yep, that's me, yep, that's me, then that just means that it is time, when you're ready to make it a priority, it's time to deal with that tongue tie, okay? So the first thing, tongue tie and posture. A tongue tie is a connective tissue issue. So I have not met anybody yet who did not have any postural tension kind of complaints, okay? That generally is the one thing that people come to me. It's the drug of choice for everybody. They want to get this tension dealt with. When you have a tongue tie, you're rolled forward. So it's like wearing a size small when you need a size large. So it rolls you forward. So that gives you some forward head posture. It compresses your diaphragm, which we're going to get to here in just a second. But it affects the entire muscular chain in the body, okay? Your tongue is the rudder of everything, your tongue posture. If your tongue is not postured in the roof of your mouth, and you're rolled forward and you have a tongue tie, everything is connected. You guys, everything's tied together, okay? So I see a lot of clients who have posture issues. They have tension complaints. They have that forward head posture, which is no good because for every inch forward that your head is, that puts an additional 12 pounds on your spine. So you don't want to be one of those little old, elderly people that are all hunkered over. We want you to be upright. Good strong posture, ears over the shoulders. I have a lot of clients with migraines. A lot of different things can trigger a migraine. A structural issue is one of those. I myself am a migraine sufferer, and I found that if I structurally was weak, if I structurally was, out of alignment, then I was more likely to get a migraine. A tongue tie causes tons, you guys, tons and tons and tons of sleeping problems, snoring. I see a lot of sleep apnea, okay? Sleep apnea, the tongue is the obstruction. So while there is complex sleep apnea, there's central sleep apnea, obstructive sleep apnea, quite often, if you're going to sleep and you're relaxing and the tongue is just falling into your throat because it's tied down, it can't be lifted, then the tongue itself is the obstruction. So a lot of times we get a release, we get the tongue lifted up, you do adequate myofunctional therapy, and that sleep apnea can go away. So that's super exciting. I see a tongue tie affecting poor swallowing. I have clients that have poor breathing. Like I said, it rolls you forward. And then I see lots of troubles eating and digestive issues. So I talk a lot about, my world as a nutrition therapy practitioner and my myo world. And a lot of the most complex cases that I work with, I also do nutrition therapy with them because they have significant digestive issues from their tongue tie, the chewing and the mechanics of just simply how they eat. A lot of them have rapid eating behavior, so they chew really, really fast. They have a low postured tongue, so a lot of them are mouth breathing, which puts you into fight or flight. So when we look at that from a digestive issue, your body does not digest correctly when you're running from the saber-toothed tiger. So if you're that person who is just ramped up, always in stress mode, always in that sympathetic overdrive, you need parasympathetic mode, which is your rest and digest for proper digestion. So a lot of my clients that kind of meld both of those worlds together, we got to get the tongue tie out of the way so that they can learn how to manipulate food correctly, so they can learn how to chew food correctly. swallow it correctly, then we really start to see some digestive improvement. So I think that's probably the proudest area that I am with clients, to see their success, because they see it. Between the digestive issues and the improvement in sleep and the tension, I think those are probably the three biggest things where people say, oh my gosh, I can't believe how this has made a change in my life. Speech. So tongue ties affect speech. Half of the muscles in the tongue are responsible for shape and half are responsible for placement. So I have had hundreds of clients who are not doing well with speech. They have a tongue tie that was never diagnosed. They've been spinning their wheels in speech. And once we get the tongue tie taken care of, we get the myofunctional therapy work done, then the kiddo can be successful in speech. A prime example, I recently had a speech therapist refer a client to me because that kiddo could not make the R sound. R sound is a real common tongue tie sound, we say, like somebody struggling with that. So that speech therapist, while not being myofunctional therapy educated, she knew enough to tell the mom, hey, your child is having trouble with R, and there is no way we're going to get that resolved without having a frenectomy done. So the speech therapist, sent the child to me. So that's awesome, because a lot of the times that is not the case. And then last, where the tongue tie really affects the body is that breathing. So for you to get out of that fight or flight, I have to get you out of this shallow thoracic breathing. So that's this shallow breathing up here. I want you to use your whole lung capacity. You have 5 liters there, my friend. But when you have a tongue tie and it's rolling you forward, what are you doing to your diaphragm? So you're squishing it down. So that's going to make it really impossible for this muscle to be able to make that movement. So again, going back to, once we get that tie released and we can get you upright, many of my clients report it's just kind of like a house settling. Many of my ladies report that it's like taking off a very uncomfortable tight bra at the end of the day, because they just suddenly have freedom. Many of my clients have sore ribs the next day because they can breathe better. Okay. I don't think I should have to tell you anymore to make you say, hey, yes, I think I have a tongue tie, or I know I have a tongue tie. I want to prioritize myself. I want to get it taken care of. So when it's a priority to you, then my team and I are ready to help you. Wherever you are watching this, you will find information on how to get an exam scheduled. That is the first place. We look at all the stuff. I look at how all the muscles are working, and then we build a plan together. So that's it. I will be back next time with another hot topic. Bye for now.